Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected. And we are here at Survivor 43, the premiere tonight. I'm with Amanda and James, like always. And if you'd like to follow us on anywhere, we're at Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Join our Facebook group, follow our Twitter. Um, we had a 2 hour premiere with one one tribal tonight. How'd you guys feel about the premiere as a whole?
You go ahead and go first, James.
You there?
You guys hear me? Because I can't really hear anything.
Yeah, we can hear you
Oh, we
now.
hear you now.
Yeah.
Yep. Can you,
Hold up. Shit. I don't know why it's doing this again.
go to your settings.
All right, go ahead, Amanda. How did you feel
That's
about the
fine.
premiere as a
Like,
whole?
I could hear everything
So,
perfectly until we went live, and now I can't hear anything.
so I liked the premiere. It was fine. I thought it was a little slow pace, but overall we got a lot of character development. Got to know a lot of the contestants. They went over almost everybody from the beginning. So you gave, everyone a very flat, basis on who they are, what their story is. Spend a lot of time on characters this premiere, which I felt like other premieres it's very flashy, very challenge based, very twist heavy. Whereas this time it was reeled back a little bit and really, really put more time into the characters of the show. So that was very nice. I did enjoy that part of it, but at the same time, a little bit of me misses, the chaos, like the big flashy, like this is Survivor, this is why we're here. Like I
All
just
right,
felt
we're
like
good.
Jeff
We're
wasn't
good
as
now. Sorry.
okay, cool. I just feel like Jeff wasn't as excited about introducing everybody as what he was the past 2 seasons. So like, I don't know. Honestly, I liked this premiere. Like, it was fine for a premiere. I've seen worse, but I liked 41 and 42 better in the premiere aspect than 43.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty similar. This one obviously only had one person booted. I mean, the last one only had one tribal, but there was going to be two tribes going to tribal if it didn't. So I guess we already have that sense that they're not completely just following the same thing they did in 41 and 42, which is good. But yeah, like I do think it was a fine premiere, but it didn't totally pop for me. But I
Yeah.
did like what I saw from a lot of the cast.
Hmm.
Saw the
See,
potential in a lot of them.
I quite enjoyed the first only one boot. It gave us a chance to learn a lot from the cast, and I feel like it's setting up for they're setting up their characters well for future episodes. I believe. I felt like 41 for sure, but less with 42. That everything felt sometimes rushed and it was hard to follow some at times. I enjoyed 41 more than you did, James, but it was a little chaotic in 41 and 42. Less 42 than 41, but this one felt like it was more grounded and it gave us a chance to learn a little bit about each character. And I feel like they definitely set up some main characters within this premiere that we're probably gonna be following throughout the season.
So like I was working, and basically at 8 o'clock is when it starts to slow down for me, and then 9 o'clock, pretty much everyone was gone besides me and the bartender. And then after that, I could really like completely watch. I just had to do a little cleanup after the episode was over. But like I was a little like I saw a little less of the first hour, so I don't know totally fully know who got like the most screen time, but I feel like some of the time if someone gets a shit ton of confessionals and like one of the first episodes that they could be in trouble early. So like I kind of saw that with Cody. I think he might
Hmm.
be an early goner. He's either going to be an early goner or he's going to be a big time player character because I feel like he got a lot of screen time tonight.
That's a hot take, Jay. Jay, he thinks 41's a top 10 season.
Who said that? It just says Facebook.
Jay,
Jay Lopez?
no, Milligan.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
Jay,
tough.
come on.
Yeah, that's tough.
I
But
don't think so.
so
I'd love to have him on anytime
yeah,
to argue
Yeah.
that.
yeah, we'll have to. He'll definitely have to come on and talk to us about that one. But so I really like I said, I really like the scale back. It felt like they tried to set more it back towards more of an old school type feel in a way. By the way, they wanted to set out their characters. Um, they still wanted to feel modern, but they wanted to scale it back just a little bit and not be a full
Right.
on sprint all the way to the end. They wanted it to probably feel like more of an old school Survivor type feel where they get to know the characters and they were based on the characters because we did still get some gameplay, which I really appreciate as well. But they really wanted to set up characters. Um, uh, they really wanted to set up the characters for the future episodes, I believe.
See, I liked Cody. Like he was talking about Cody earlier, how he got a lot of confessionals. I noticed that as well. I think Cody easily got 3, 4 times the confessionals as everybody else on his
Yeah,
tribe. I
that's
mean, for sure, he
mhm.
dominated the red tribe's time during that episode. But I like Cody. Like I don't know why, but I feel like whenever Jeff like first started and they were all standing on the beach together, like Cody was the only one that was like literally watching Jeff and intently paying attention to what he was saying, like anything about advantages, anything about the decisions or whatever. Like he was paying attention the entire time that man was talking. So I felt like he was zoned into the game. Like he really, really wants to do well. I'm afraid of him playing a little bit too hard, too fast.
Yeah, I think that
In
could
that
happen.
aspect, because that's what Owen did. Played way too hard, too fast, trying to create alliances like day one. So I think if Cody can understand that he is a little bit headstrong and pull back a little bit, he'll be so much better. So much better.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I feel besides Cody, just from what I noticed, we saw a lot from Sammy too. Like on his tribe, I think we got the most from him really until like before they were going to tribal. I think feel like they kind of focused it on Ellie a little bit more,
Hmm.
but we got a lot from Sammy like before the immunity challenge. I felt, and I mean he figured out the uh, like number thing for his tribe basically, and then like he says he doesn't want to do too much, but he's the one who's doing everything around the camp. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they just put a pretty big spotlight on him too. So I feel like him or Cody are two of those people that like maybe one of them will be an early boot and the other one is a big character, but like
Hmm.
I definitely think we saw a lot from the both of them. Like not saying they're going to be the strongest like strategic or social players, but we think that like at least character wise, like they kind of popped on the screen a little bit.
I
Yeah.
feel like Cody is just getting set up for a big fall. I feel like they're setting him up like he's trying to run things. In all reality, he's going to be like the first boot on that
So
tribe.
I'm Drew from San Juan del Sur, Drew Christie. I do you remember him?
Yeah,
Did badly blindsided. I think he was like the fourth boot, but it was like the first time his tribe went there.
yeah.
I could see that. Could see like a Garrett type of flame out early. Like the
Mhm.
potential for an early flame out for him is very high.
Very
Very high.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so what's the three tribes we have? They are called the Coco tribe. I feel like that's the tribe I'd want to be on
Coco's
personally.
blue.
Coco's tribe. Yeah.
Yes,
Coco's blue.
See,
Vessi is red, and Baka is yellow.
I just call them the colors all the time.
Yeah, I'm not great at the tribe names either most of the time. So, but I actually wrote them down, so hopefully I can remember them this time. Um, but we start out right with the reward challenge, and it's basically whoever wins the reward gets their machete and pan. And right off the gate, Lindsay Vaughn. It was a relay race. You know, they had to run and go get puzzle pieces and go through the water and everything. I don't think anybody really struggled that much until it got to the last part of the challenge and where you had to use a bamboo stick to pull off a key to unlock your items. And Lindsay had such a big lead on both
Hmm.
tribes, and she
Yeah.
struggled to get that key
She
off.
shit the bed.
Yes,
She definitely
like
did.
if they would have lost tribal, that definitely would have came into play. I feel like
See,
in
I
this
think
episode.
Geo struggled a little with the boxes, but I feel
Yes,
he wasn't so far like he was he wasn't so far behind. Like you know what I mean? Like it
Right.
was really made clear how much Lindsay struggled to get that key, basically.
yeah. So and then Vessi ends up coming back and winning the challenge because um,
Cody.
Cody actually came up with the winning strategy of like, yo, put the flint in the bamboo and then you can pull it right out and it worked right away. Uh, Janine really struggled with the picking up the puzzle pieces and solving the puzzle. Lindsay really struggled trying to get that key. So we see a couple challenge struggles right off the bat.
Definitely.
So, but I mean, it was basically get the machete and pan, and we go back to the camp, and then go right back to the sweat and savory or the savvy.
Savvy.
Yeah, I said savory. Um,
Avery.
are you guys like tired of this, or are you guys okay with this being a thing?
I'm kind of
As
tired of
long
it.
and I'm not tired of it. I like it, but I'm glad it only takes up a very small part of the episode. If it drug on like a challenge, then no, I couldn't stand it because you're taking time away from people. But if they keep it as short as what they do, I don't mind it. Especially since it's only one episode. I don't mind it.
Yep,
It was a
I
good puzzle.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like it's
Interesting
definitely
puzzle. I would
not
have never
easy.
thought that. I thought you could only keep the 4 digits. So like I would have tried to make like, the highest number with the 4 digits.
Yeah,
I would have
see,
never thought to do it the other way.
I'm with you. I would have been thinking the same way as you. There's no way I would have thought to add that extra digit, but I mean, props to Sammy. He was pretty
Extra 2
smart with
digits.
that.
Or
Yeah.
an extra 2 digits. Yeah. It was super smart of him to do that.
Yeah, it was definitely he definitely showed out more than I anticipated this episode. Sammy did. He was obviously part of our draft, and
He's
he
on
was
your
my last
team.
pick. Yes, I was pleasantly surprised on how well he did. Everything I wanted to see from him, I did see. Showed his physical prowess within the tribe to make him an asset. He actually showed how intelligent he is also an asset to the tribe, and he also made fire. So I don't think I'm not high on it as a winner, but I am high to see him probably make merge,
Oh yeah.
most likely, because I think he brings so much to the table as for the tribe that I don't see them getting rid of him over like Owen, who's trying to showed a little bit of mess so far on
Well,
that tribe.
we can talk about it later, but the
Yeah.
girls are probably screwed on that tribe with what they did tonight. So
It depends.
maybe
It
not
depends.
Ellie, but
Yeah.
I feel like if they stick with the tribe strong, Janine's gone.
yeah. But then Ellie would have to really finagle herself in if those 3 dudes are all close, like we think they might be. So
Right.
we'll see that. We'll get to that later, though.
Right. So, but yeah, so Betsy, oh my goodness, they're a mess at camp. Their camp life is awful. They're trying to build this shelter and they can't keep up the shelter. They can't make a fire, and it was like it would be my worst nightmare going on Survivor.
30 hours. They showed it 30 hours without fire.
Yeah. And then they finally get fire at one point, and their shelter falls on them, and they lose fire on top of it.
See, that's what happens when they cast people like us who are just big normal people, big fans of the show, rather than people like Rupert who just like, I'm gonna go build a shelter and like all this and all that, and like basically like
screencast that for me.
But yeah, I mean,
we need a video of James talking like Rupert.
I don't know if that was the smartest thing, anyways, because I mean, we watched Rupert build a shelter in All Stars, and then
yeah, but like I'm talking about the people who think that that's like the absolute like point of the show, where obviously it's important to have like somebody that can do that, but it's not the point of the show. But I feel like if I was out there and I was on that tribe, I'd be doing the same thing they were. I'd just be looking around at everyone like, all right, who's gonna step up and do this? And you figure out that nobody can do it. And it's like that would, like you said, that would be my biggest fear going on the show, that something like that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yo, you tell me where you want me to move these sticks. I got you, bro. But I'm not building no shelter. So
yeah.
See, I'm one of those people that like don't understand why they don't build on their shelter every day. Like do a little bit every day.
I mean,
until
they probably do.
Out.
We just don't get to see it. They just don't make it a big thing anymore.
I guess we don't have a Roxroy on this season.
But you have like some of those seasons where they literally have like a halfway lean-to. They're sleeping on the sand, You know, like their water is like significantly far away from them. Like I don't know. I just feel like sometimes Survivor contestants are stupid in the sense of like actually like surviving on the show.
To answer your question, I would be awful at building shelters. So
Yeah.
You
I
just
would
tell
be
me what I'm not strong, but I'll tell you I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna be a hard worker, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like try to be the leader in that aspect, or I'm not going to like I'm gonna admit like I'm not a
Yeah.
construction worker. Like I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like I'm no Wendell or Boston Rob who literally like do that shit for a living and they're amazing at it.
Right.
So
Yeah. Noah said he'd be weaving pompons.
Pomtrons. That's me.
But
I'm gonna be the best damn weaver you've ever seen.
so what would you guys pick? The savvy or the sweat? I mean, we have hindsight of seeing what it was, but what would you pick?
I would
savvy,
100% pick savvy.
but like I feel the sweat might be easier to accomplish, but you're putting that on two people and you're like they're not interacting with anyone else in the tribe for maybe up to 4 hours. So I feel like at that point you're just getting to know these people. It's better for you all to be together and like do something more that can maybe bond you as a team. I feel like that's important at that stage of the game. So I think you should pick savvy. I mean, obviously we saw two different decisions, but I
I'd
just think
let
that
somebody else make the decision, and as long as I'm not doing the sweat part, I'll do whatever they want.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
if they do
if
want to
you
do
pick
sweat,
two people to do the sweat part, you're automatically choosing yourself to be in the minority because
exactly,
four people would be the majority alliance in that situation. You get four people
exactly.
that get to talk by themselves for 4 hours while you're doing hard manual labor. Oh hell no,
And you see
no.
that throughout the episode where
Oh yeah,
those three women bonded because they were over there doing their thing, and then you kind of brought James along with them, and then
yeah,
Gio and who is this Ryan
Ryan, yeah.
Ryan.
bonded by doing the sweat part by digging
Yeah,
to get the so you've seen it kind of like go that way by the way they divided the tribe that way. So I definitely would not want to be part of the minority. So if we are doing the sweat, I am not doing the sweat. I'll go weave some stuff. I'll go get some sticks, some bamboo. But yeah.
have we started every season so far with three tribes of the
Since
new?
40.
Yeah, since 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've had
Oh.
18 the last like three tribes of six the last three. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I think 20. Like, you think they'll ever go back to 20? Because like obviously if they have
I don't
20
know. That's what I think if ratings were to
returning
go
seasons.
up, if ratings were consistently to go up, yeah, I think they would bring 20 back again. But I don't think Survivor's in that area of viewership to be able to do that. Because even adding two more people on is more people for fans to remember. And I would say that 70, maybe 65, 70% of viewers are casual. They don't follow it like we do, or they don't remember like we do. They just watch it every Wednesday, and there's a couple super fans, maybe a third of the community. I would say, Survivor fans
Yeah.
are super fans, but they're going to cater to the other 2/3 of the audience who don't mind, who aren't going to be studying these people, and it's way easier to keep track of 18 people versus 20 people or 22 people or 24 people.
Right.
Or 28 people, amigos. No, I'm just kidding.
So
No,
But
absolutely not.
what I really don't like, I don't care if there's 18 or 20, especially for a newbie season. I feel like 18 is probably a better number. But I really I kind of do hope there's a swap this season because like it did work out the last season, but season 41 I feel like really hurt because there was no swap and like it
Yeah.
just kind of made the merge for a little bit of it a little more predictable.
Yeah.
do you think they're eliminating the swap because you have to earn your way to the merge?
I don't know. I have no idea. I really,
know.
I wouldn't mind a swap. I feel like not doing a swap every season isn't a big deal, but like I don't want to completely cut it out either.
You don't want that to become the
Right.
norm
Exactly.
because then it's like it's kind of just annoying.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's just not fair to somebody who's on the bottom and like they're only voted out, like they have no chance because there's no swap or something. And like I get if you're in a good spot and you get swap screwed, like that sucks, but it's also
Right.
been a staple of the game and it's part of the game like for a
Right.
reason. So
For a long time now.
yeah.
Um, so who surprised you this episode?
Carla?
I'm about to say Carla surprised me. She's a lot better than anticipated. I think she was the last
Mhm.
pick, right? Or
Yeah, she was.
She
in our
was.
draft. So we all weren't very high on her, and she seemed to get herself in a pretty sweet spot.
Yeah.
Jaden's
Um,
pretty happy right now.
I bet he is. Sammy surprised me. He
Mhm.
seemed more. I felt like there was a chance of him making himself an asset, and I said that when I drafted him. But he definitely he pretty much did everything we wanted him to do. Make himself an
Yeah.
asset, lie about his age, come across as older, so he's not seem like he's some little child that doesn't know what's going on. So he surprised me. Owen surprised me in the wrong way.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say that. I I feel like he might be able to eventually find his footing, but it wasn't a great start for a guy who was picked like so highly across like every draft I basically looked at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it was definitely jarring seeing him uh
Right.
kind of fail this episode. And he ended up surviving at the end, but he kind of failed throughout the episode, do everything he really wanted to do. He tried to start talking game, nobody really wanted to talk game with him, and he became a target towards the end episode. Now how big of a target was it? We don't really know for sure,
Right.
but I mean, he still got a vote. So
yeah.
I would say, honestly, Cody surprised me because I felt like based on doing drafts or like people's perception or listening to podcasts of Cody, he was a very middle ground player. Everyone kind of like, grazed over him a little bit. And for him having as much screen time as he did, he's entertaining. You want to watch confessionals of him talking, even if it's not a good game move, he's still entertaining to watch on the television. And that's what I like to see on Survivor. I want to be into it. I want to enjoy myself. I want Survivor to be fun. I'm really, really hoping for that this season, that we have a fun season. Like I want another like Debbie or another coach or another, Nora, like somebody like that to make to so I can laugh and like, enjoy it in that way. And I
speaking,
feel like we didn't have that the first two seasons or of Modern Survivor. I really want that one of those characters to come back. And I'm hoping that Gabler will kind of be like that a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of like the comic relief of the show, because we just haven't had that in the
Yeah.
past, especially the past two. I mean, who is the comic relief of Winners of War? Adam? I
Tony.
mean,
Tony.
Tony, I guess, but like he's the
Tony was
winner. I don't know.
hilarious.
Tony was
Tony's always
hilarious.
hilarious.
He's always hilarious, but it's just like, I don't know. I need that. But Tony's funny because he's funny. He's not funny because he's goofy. You like the others. You know what I mean? Like you don't put Tony in the same category as like Debbie, Coach, and Nora,
Or
you know?
yeah.
But
See,
I
I
just
could
like I want another funny character that's gonna make me laugh and we watch them disaster their way through the game.
Uh
I can't stand Debbie, but and
I
Nora
love
I'm
Debbie.
indifferent on, but I could watch someone like Coach. Like I'll even go way back. Like give me like someone like Shane Powers again.
Yes.
Like some I want that Zane like Randy Bailey like someone like that
Yes. Me
like
too.
just
Like
spices
that's
up the season. If we
yes,
had
I
someone
need
like
somebody
that,
like that.
that
uh
instantly makes the season better.
so
It
so some
does.
so something that gave me Devi vibes. I mean, him as a player doesn't, or his character, but I really like that they gave Sammy like 20 jobs when he's introducing
Yeah, like he
himself.
kept
Yeah.
adding
Yeah,
on to his
I hope
job
they change it
descriptions.
every time he has a confessional like they
It would
did
be so
Debbie.
funny. I love that.
I love
That's
Just
what
it
I'm
so
saying.
much.
Like just that funny Survivor. I just like we haven't. I love gameplay as much as the next person. Like believe me, we had a lot of great gameplay last season, and this premiere episode probably had more gameplay in it than the other two combined. I mean, it did, but I don't know. I missed that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it pans
Yeah,
out. I feel like
there's still
they're
plenty of season
definitely
ahead.
they definitely presented this season differently from 42 and 41, which I do appreciate. We don't want to see a copy and paste season over and over again.
Right.
Um and I really liked the new island. They had to risk their vote or not.
Yeah.
Um, so they had to walk in water to get to this big rock, and then they had to all decide if they were going to risk their vote or not risk their vote. And if all three of them risk their vote, only one of them's getting the advantage. The other two are losing their vote. And Carla ended up going, Dwight ended up going, and Gabler ended up going.
Mhm.
Dwight and Gabler risked their vote. Carla did not. And it came down to it, and Gabler got his advantage. And then he told his whole tribe that he got it.
Yeah, I would have lied.
He's gonna be the zany character that I loved to laugh at this season.
Oh, he was a mess this episode.
He was a mess.
Absolute mess.
He was a mess.
So, all right, one thing I did miss, like I saw basically when they were about to when they went to the board for the risk or save your vote, but how did they decide who was going? Did they volunteer or did they pick someone
No,
by random?
they all three made the decision in front of each other, which is what I liked.
No.
No. I know that. How did they decide who got chosen from
Dwight
each tribe?
asked to go. Baca did some counting of the fingers. Whoever landed on the 43, that's who had to go. And then on Coco, they did a number 1 through 20 or something like that because some people didn't want to go.
Yeah, 2 people didn't want to go, 4 people did want to go. So they had the 2 people decide on a number together, and then the other 4 decided between 1 through 20, 1 through 20, yeah, what number they wanted to choose, and then whichever number was closest, that person got to go, and that's how Dwight got to go. No, not Dwight. That's how Carla got to go.
That's how Carla got to go.
Yeah.
So they get there, and Carla doesn't risk her vote, which I really think is smart. She's not in the position where she needs to risk it.
If I was in her spot, I wouldn't have either. If I was Gabler,
she learned from Chanel's mistake.
Yeah.
She learned from Chanel's mistake. 100%.
Yeah, so it's never a good idea to tell people about your advantages. I agree.
No, keep that shit a secret to the end.
Yeah, so Gabler gets his, and it's an idol for the next 2 tribal councils, and he tells everybody, he screams like a girl, like he just won the Super Bowl or something.
And they could hear him.
Yeah,
he didn't even have to tell them because they already knew there was a 50-50 chance, and as soon as they heard them scream, they knew he got something. And then he went right over and didn't even sort of lie about what it was. He told them exactly what it was.
Yeah, point blank.
Yeah. I just feel
like he's just a bad liar. You think he just knows he's a bad liar, so he's just not even going to try to lie, which isn't going to get him far in Survivor. But you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I
feel like I feel like he's going to be Brad. He's Brad from 41.
Did I think I said that the other day when we did.
He's definitely Brad from 41, and he's just going to tell everybody about everything, and he's going to be a mess. I swear to God, if we see him running down the beach, slow motion, I'm going to lose my shit. I tell you that right now, like they did Brad. You see his muscles just are bouncing and he's running. Oh, they do that to Mike. I'm going to lose it.
So
funny.
Do you think if he didn't have the idol and that they all knew about it, that it could have been him possibly targeted, or no?
No, I think he made a connection with Ellie and that saved him. But would you guys try to flush his idol if you guys were on that tribe?
Not on the first boot, I wouldn't.
No, and not then there's only one more tribal where he has it, so I'm not necessarily really worried about flushing it. I think he's someone who he'll be easy enough to get rid of, when the time is right. He's not going to be some force in the game. I don't think he might be a great character. He could prove me wrong, but I don't think he's going to be some sort of strategic force or anything.
This is my thinking. Look, you're on a tribe of 6, and he has it for 2 tribals. That means at tribal 5, that means there's only 4 eligible people to be voted out next round.
Yeah,
and you'd be one of them. So I might try to flush it, if you asked you. Especially when he said that, when he pulled that shit, when he goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna use my shot in the dark," I'd be like, "Say less, do it." I would have voted him out right then and there.
Yeah,
we're voting Gabler out right now.
I can't
let him take that shot in the dark.
Yeah, let him take the shot in the dark.
I was like, I'll take the shot in the dark. I'm writing Gabler's name down. That's what I'm.
That's when I'm like,
You know what
I was
though? It
thinking it a
saved him
little
first
before that,
round.
but that's when I'm really like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like,
He's at least guaranteed third booter up because he's got to play it next tribal.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, watch him not even play it. Watch him be like, I'm not gonna play it. I cost us the
Oh my
challenge.
god, wouldn't that be a crazy second episode?
See, I still think that their tribe isn't going to be like a total disaster in the challenge. Like I know they screwed up tonight, but
Right.
I worry about the blue tribe like in challenge. I know they got first, like they shocked me, but like I don't something about them. That's like the least exciting tribe to me. It just doesn't really pop, and I just don't. I don't know. It worked out
They
for
didn't
them.
get a lot of content tonight either.
What you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They really
something.
didn't get a lot of content.
Yeah, we got that.
I
There
would
was the
say
Girls
Red Tribe.
Alliance.
Yeah, the
And
Red
that
Tribe
they
got
want
way
to
more.
pull in James for it. Where I'll go on to James for a little. I think James is in a fantastic spot.
I love James.
I think, like, I don't know. He seemed a little maybe kind of like boring to me in the interviews, and that's kind of like why I shied away from picking him. But I think he's going to be a good player this season. Like I really do.
I really like that. So he made some really cool like confessionals about what he was thinking. How he said that he's like, I want people to think they have one up on me. So if the girls want to align with me and they think they have one up on me, I'll let them do it.
Mhm.
So
He's in a great
He
spot.
reminds me
He
a
is in a
lot
great
of
spot.
Sandra. He reminds
Yeah.
me a lot of Sandra. He's like the male Sandra almost in a way.
Yep. He says, he's like, look, if he said, if I want to be a king, I gotta look like I'm a pawn. So
Mhm.
I really dug James too. Ryan had a really good touching moment about how his upbringing was tough with his disease and how he had to go through so many years of physical therapy just to be able to walk.
4
And
years, yeah.
so it was we got to see a lot of character moments. We got moments with Gio, we got moments with Carlo, we got moments with Sammy, we got moments with a lot of this cast with Gabler,
Yeah.
with Dwight.
NECA.
So
NECA even
Becca,
got some.
yeah,
Mhm.
Noel.
Noel,
Owen did too.
yeah. So
There was a lot.
yeah, it was a lot.
Noel.
We got a lot. I feel like we got like a little mini intro to each character throughout this episode. I'm sure
I
they'll
tell you
give the
what,
rest of them
Noelle
next
Noelle
episode.
killed it. She did really well this episode. Like she held up her own in the challenges. They even made her swim. Did you guys realize that?
Yeah.
They made her swim and that
She-
girl won 100 meter. She's a top 100-meter holder in the United States.
Yeah,
And they freaking made this girl swim instead of run.
yeah. So
Why wouldn't you offer to run? I don't understand why
well,
she would
because
offer to swim.
it's probably harder to run in the sand.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
I mean, you think that's running on a track and field, which is totally different than running on sand.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
we don't know that what was said in that conversation, so we don't know. We don't
We don't know.
we're
She
just
might not even told
speculating.
anybody either.
Right.
Yeah.
And she might be a really good swimmer, and maybe that's what she wanted to do, and that's what she volunteered for. So I did, yeah, she really got she really connected with Justine on her tribe, and they see that they kind of try to get Jesse to join them, and Jesse found himself in a really good spot. I feel like Jesse,
I like Jesse a
me
lot.
too. I
I
like
do
Jesse
too.
too. I like the way he's approaching his tribe. I think they he had a conversation with Cody and Nayaka, and they were like, "What's be a 3?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm down." And then he has a conversation right after that with Justine, and
and
she's like,
Noel.
yeah. So he's like right in the middle, and he's like, "I'm just gonna let them come to me, and I'll figure out what I want to do from there." I feel like we've seen he play a different style and kind of be in a sweet spot. Carla play a different style, and she be in the sweet spot. And then Allie play a different style, and she be in the sweet spot. So
Who's the 6th person on the Red Tribe that wasn't in either of those?
say again?
God.
Oh, who
Like
wasn't talked about on there? Dwight.
Dwight, yeah, okay. So yeah,
Is
I
there-
feel, and especially
there three
without not having his vote, I
Yeah.
think Dwight's in big trouble if his tribe loses.
And if you're
Yeah.
Jesse, why wouldn't you want to vote him out? It only
Exactly.
Yeah.
benefits him. Like, get rid of him, and he's in between two pairs. It's like the perfect position to be in. So
I think he's in big trouble.
he's in
when
big
they
trouble next episode. I feel like they set it up for like Cody being in trouble, but in all reality, probably Dwight's gonna be in trouble. You voted
Yeah.
off. Because I mean, we got the least amount from him on that tribe was Dwight, so it only makes sense.
Even with him going to the summit,
Mm-hmm.
like for the advantage, and he got the disadvantage, and we still, I think, maybe Justine also, like, we didn't get too much from her, but we at least saw her like position herself in an alliance, and she performed. I think Justine did a good job in the immunity challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see. My issue is
And
I
she started
think
fire.
Yeah.
I think Baca's gonna be in trouble. I'm telling you, Janine is just she's not gonna be able to do it. She struggled in both the challenges.
You think she's just a total liability?
She's gonna be a liability, man. She's tiny.
They
Like,
didn't vote her out though this round. They voted
that's
Mariah
fine.
out.
That's fine. And then they'll lose another challenge. I'm like, man, maybe we should get rid of the girl that's like 80 pounds.
My God. I'm sick of your skinny girl slander.
It's not slander when it's true. You see her trying to pick up those puzzle pieces. She about died. I'm worried for her safety.
Justine is just as small as Janine
No.
is. Yes. Are you watching the same
No,
season I
she's-
am? Justine is just as small as Janine.
I
They
think she's
literally
got a little more. They're really skinny, but I think she's got a little more height to her. Which, I mean,
Janine does?
no, Justine.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like,
Yeah.
literally Justine is like my size.
Yeah, she's like 5
5
foot.
foot, yeah,
Yeah.
100 pounds of soaking wet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Janine. Or that's Justine. Janine's taller, but maybe thin. Looks thinner because she's taller. But
I don't
Janine
know.
is Justine is easily the smallest person on this whole cast.
That's what I'm saying. She's gonna she struggled in both the challenges. She struggled in the first one trying to do the puzzle, and she struggled in the second one, which was for immunity. And pretty much, I mean, you can't say it cost them the challenge, but it helped lead to their loss in the challenge. She was stuck at digging the sand pit for a minute. And they probably put her there to try to say, oh, she'll be the easiest to get through because she's so tiny. And it just didn't work out that way.
What
But
tribe
she-
is Noelle on again?
Bessie,
The red one.
the
Yeah.
red one.
Which I thought there was. I'm fucking something up.
What you
Who's
trying
on
to
the
figure out?
Baca? I have them written down. I must have them written down
Oh.
wrong. Who's on the Baca tribe? Gabler, Ellie, Owen, Janine, Mariah.
Sammy.
Oh, Sammy, that's right. I
Yeah.
got that mixed up. Okay, so
Yeah.
Sammy's over there, not Noelle.
All right, well, let's talk
That's what I
about
was looking at.
Mariah since she went home this episode. What do you guys think of Mariah?
I think she could have been like a fun, like quirky character. It was just unfortunate her tribe lost, and I think the fact that they haven't done the swap the last 2 seasons, that a lot of people, especially the first boot or two, are going to like just look, we're going to keep the tribe strong. So I think once that happened, it was either Janine or Mariah who were in trouble. I know they brought up Owen, but I don't think Ellie or obviously Gabler or Sammy were ever going to vote for Owen. So like I think it was between one of those two girls, and I think Ellie was probably closer with Janine. So I think that's probably why Mariah got the boot.
See, I think the opposite. I think that Mariah's smarter than what they portrayed, and that if she would have continued in the game, she would have been in a way better position and turn the majority around for herself. I really do.
I didn't not say that. I just said I think she was sacrificed because it was either going to be her or Janine. Like that.
Yeah.
With this new school, like way they're playing, there might not be a swap. So like the first vote, you kind of just have to like it was going to be her, Janine, because they're going to give you the least in the challenges, and
Right.
Yeah.
they ultimately just decided on her, and she definitely got a little bit of a raw deal. Like I think some of our first boots are actually like really just bad players, but I feel like she actually had some potential.
I do too.
I agree. I think they really casted her to try to be like the Marianne
Of course, yeah.
of the season, where like her bubbly personality and like outspokenness of her, just like in your face personality. Marianne was, um, and I feel like they casted her to be somewhat that way, and it just so happened she didn't make it quite as
And
Well, she
far.
wasn't
So
I,
I mean, she wasn't like see, I didn't get that feel from her, like, I don't get that feel that she's, like, a quirky, like, funny, like, open, outgoing person. I get the feeling that she's, like, a serious player, like, when she's talking, like, when she was talking to other people about gameplay, like, she wasn't, like, all smiles and, like,
I
"Yes,
didn't say
okay."
she wasn't a player. I'm saying her character was supposed to be like
like that's who they
Marianne.
No,
casted
that's
her
I
as.
know, that's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. What I'm
Uh,
saying is it's the opposite. Like she is the opposite of what they wanted her to be. She was more of a serious I feel like she was more of like a serious game player type versus like a social fun butterfly type like Marianne is, if that makes any sense. I think they wanted someone like Marianne, but she wasn't that. She was more serious.
Yeah. So I don't know if like she didn't have very long, but she followed through with it. But I did feel bad because in like that little intro when they're on the boat, she was like, these people like say they're coming to play here and they don't want to make any friends, and she says, I want to make friends, like, because I guess like that was kind of them giving her that social, like, just nice, overall, just nice and an awesome person that like they
Right.
casted her to be. Maybe they just want us to think that, or I don't know though. Like
I,
I
I
just
I actually have that quote written down. So she said that she wants to make real connections. So that they vote for me at the end, and then afterwards we can go have pizza and coffee, which is a
yeah.
weird combination.
Sounds
That's why it
disgusting.
stood up to me. I
That's
was like,
funny.
pizza and coffee. Who eats, who drinks coffee with their pizza? That sounds weird.
Nobody. Breakfast pizza, I guess.
At least
I
if you're gonna say pizza and soda or pizza and
A
beer,
beer, right? You
pizza
don't
and
say
coffee.
Mhm.
pizza and coffee. I've never heard that before,
Yeah.
so it made me
Crazy.
laugh. But yeah, so we really didn't get a lot of Coco that much. I feel like that was the least amount of try. The more we've
No.
seen of them was basically Carla basically getting herself in a really good position. That's about what we've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen her
And
connect with
James.
and
Mhm.
was it James? Yeah, James. And then she really connected with Geo, with them both being married and gay, and talking about how their lives were affected and their partners' lives were affected by being a gay couple. So they really
Mhm.
bonded over that, which is a cool moment. And you could tell that it made Geo kind of like lower his guard down, was able to
Yeah.
talk to her, and you've seen a nice bonding moment with them. And like I said, this episode was just a bunch of character moments, and which I really enjoyed.
Hmm.
So that was
I
just
did
one of
too.
them, and you see them bond, and it makes her think like, should I go with them or should I stick with the women? And women alliances never last, man. We've seen two of them form, one of them
They
already
don't.
break up. By the way,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it just never
Which is
lasts.
sad.
Even
I
when
don't know.
they
Then we
try
did
to do
get.
it,
I don't know if you remember. We did get the confessional from Lindsay saying that she's a super fan of the show and she has always wanted to be in an all women's alliance. So I don't know if that's like
Oh my
foreshadowing of anything,
god.
but
yeah, yeah. I feel like Lindsay is gonna be pegged as a big threat the way she's playing.
I
yeah,
agree. She is a strong player.
she's got potential. As long as she doesn't fuck up like she did in that first challenge, I feel like she'll be okay. And that I don't know because like James seems to be pulled in with the girls, but then Carla and Gio like are very close. Like we've seen, like that's going to be a tight pair. So like, does that mean Ryan is in trouble? Like, or
Oh,
is
I
he
hope
too
not.
useful to them in the challenges? So like, that's where I think like Amanda's girl Cassidy or Lindsay are probably the vulnerable ones there.
They didn't
I
show
feel
hardly
like
anything of Cassidy
I feel
tonight.
like Cassidy's not gonna make it very far. She got
No,
nothing
I
tonight.
I don't have very much faith in her, really.
No.
She's somebody that that stood out for the wrong reasons by not being on my screen. I barely seen any of her
Yeah.
at all.
She didn't
Um,
even get an intro really a whole lot. I mean, she got a
uh,
confessional here or there. They didn't. Did you guys realize they didn't show Justine in the intro at all? And they didn't like and in the parts where they were like cut into confessionals during like tribe introductions. they didn't show a single one of her
Yeah.
there either. And I was like, oh
Interesting.
man, this is not good. I was like, this is
But
not
I
good for
think
this
she got a
girl.
lot of contact throughout throughout the episode where I don't feel
Yeah.
quite as worried as I do for Chrissy or Cassidy, who literally got nothing. Like we got maybe
Yeah.
one or two, and
Nothing.
that was it.
Nothing. Yeah.
We don't even know anything about her.
But that's the way that Erica was too, and she won the whole damn season. So
That's true.
we
Hopefully they don't
can't
try to
we
do no
can't
Erica.
we try so hard to go off the
Yeah,
professional count, and there's no point. They've proved us wrong so many
yeah.
times.
See, last season the edit was a lot better though, where
Yeah.
there wasn't many of those people. I mean, maybe Romeo was the one who got the horrible edit, but like it was kind of justified. But like we didn't have like Heather and Erica were absolutely invisible the whole pre-merge is 41, and then Heather was invisible the entire game. So
Yeah. And
Right.
okay, we gotta talk about this. This is like a really big topic I've been wanting to talk about this whole episode. Um, we got to get some merch made that says "Living" with the butt cheek on it,
Oh my
with a
god, that was
smiley face.
so funny. That was hilarious. I lived for that.
I'll put that right in the chest of the sweater.
Living,
I'm wearing it. Living.
all right, so
living like a villain.
I missed that part
You
too.
missed
Like
that part.
Oh, you gotta go back and watch
Yeah,
that.
no,
What time is it?
I'm gonna
It'll come on at midnight. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it tonight or tomorrow, and
It's
then
so funny. So
I'm probably gonna
It is
watch
really
it two
funny.
more times before the next episode. So, like,
We were
what happened? Just explain it.
they were talking about Jesse's tattoos on his arm, and he's like, "Oh, he got a cooler tattoo, and that's to Cody." And then like, "What's his tattoo?" And he pulls down his shorts, and it shows his ass cheek, and it says
It says
"Living" with the
living.
smiley face.
So funny. I said that's the next merch from the Survivor t-shirts
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think Jesse mentioned something about like we know he was in a gang and everything, but he said he had a tattoo on his face or something. Like, I guess at one point.
On some teardrops.
Damn. Yeah, like
Yep.
Yeah, and then he had a tattoo on the back of his head too. They got removed.
yeah.
So like question for you. So like you know what the teardrops mean? Like
Yeah.
do you think Survivor would cast a murderer? You're not gonna answer?
I mean, are you asking if you think he's killed somebody?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not my place to judge.
yeah, it's not
judging
my
jury
place
here.
to judge.
I
But
plead the
Listen, I
fifth.
like Jesse. Don't get me wrong.
I
think
played
he's
the
cool as
fifth.
fuck,
The
but
guy turned his life around, and that's what's the important
that's
part.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm just saying.
He
I don't know.
he's a smart guy, and I really
He is.
he's a lot more quieter than I thought he was going to be. Going into reading his bio and stuff like
but
that,
I
thought he was
think
gonna
that
Mhm.
plays well for him
plays really well.
because in Survivor, like you want to blend in, you don't
Yes,
want to
you
stand
have to
out.
blend in.
Yeah, and I feel like he's gonna blend in well. Plus, that just with him being such a smart guy and his story being so good and him being in decent physical shape, I feel like he's probably my favorite after the first episode.
Yeah, I feel like I think his winner equity definitely went up,
Right.
or his potential, like as a player, went up for me because I feel like he has the potential to definitely win the game. The way he's approaching the game, he's now no slouch in challenges, and from what I understand, he's gonna be a quiet assassin. It sounds like, so so when people came back from risking their vote or not risking their vote, everybody told the truth. We've seen Dwight didn't get the same beneficial as Gabler did, so they all thought, or well, let me rephrase that. Cody thought Dwight was lying. Would you came back and told the truth?
Yeah. I would have.
I would have too, because people seen 42 and 41. So
Yeah, I might have. If I wouldn't completely lie, but I might like
Partly
somehow.
like just like not tell part of the truth.
Yeah, I would give them
Mhm.
like give them what's believable, but not give them everything like that they want to hear.
right.
I thought it was interesting how was it Cody that was like, "Oh, he didn't do that because his clothes are dry. There's no way it would be, You know,
Yeah,
they.
Cody
I
thought
thought it was interesting that
Cody
Cody
thought he was
said,
lying.
"Yeah, Cody thought I was lying because his clothes were dry." But here's my thing: is like they did go through the water, so he wasn't
Yeah.
lying about that part. So like what? Like because he said they were only gone for about an hour and a half, which they make the summit seem like way fucking longer than that.
Yeah.
I mean, they made it seem like they were walking through that water for like at least 30 to 45 minutes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like it was a long walk.
I feel like it was too. That's why I'm surprised they said like that Cody said from the boat ride of him getting picked up to the boat ride of him getting dropped off, it was like an hour and a half of the time.
So that would have to mean that they were walking through the water for maybe like
Maybe 10 minutes.
I was gonna say
I
like
don't know.
30 minutes.
I feel like it was a
Maybe
long walk.
30.
I
Yeah.
feel like they were gone for most of the day.
No, they weren't. That's the part I'm saying. Is
He
like
said it
Cody
was
said
only
they
an
were
hour
only
and a
gone
half.
for an hour and
Oh,
a
okay.
half. That's why
But
I'm
like
I don't
I
know.
was
I
really
missed that part.
surprised about that. Well, and also
But like
too, like
for
that
that
puts a
hour and a
whole new
half
spin
though,
on it because they have to make the decision in an hour and a half.
for
That's
for that hour and a half though, they could have been walking through the water for like at least 1/3 of the time, which is 30 minutes still.
30
So
minutes, yeah.
yeah.
But then you count the boat ride back and forth, plus the time to film, plus the time to get the conversations in, plus the time to make a decision. That's
No,
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
I'm
weird.
I'm saying 30 minutes max.
I really wish they wouldn't have put that in there because I feel like the show portrayed it as a summit being so much longer than that. And it like to hear that it's only like an hour and a half worth of time, like remember like Liana and Shan were like bonded, like sister bonded after the
Yeah.
summit during 41. And you're telling me that they only bonded like that over an hour and a half? There's no way.
Right. Right. I don't know. But we'll probably figure out after the season how long it actually was.
Yeah.
Um. But yeah. So basically, both of them told the truth, but Dwight got called a liar. Um. But yeah. So I mean, I would have told the truth too because everybody's seen those seasons. Why lie about it? It's not.
Hmm.
There's no point. So we get to the immunity challenge. What do you guys think of the immunity challenge? I actually really enjoyed it.
I did
I thought it
too.
was cool.
Hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of I'm not like super into the challenge, but this challenge I just felt like it just felt important. It just felt fun and entertaining. So
And it's got good
Yeah.
balance to it too. Like
mhm.
I love the things at the end with like I like how there was a balance portion, but I like the little tables where you gotta like navigate things. And I thought it was hilarious that Gabler and Sammy were they just were not on the same page.
You
Yeah,
had the oldest person and the youngest person trying to
Yeah.
work together.
yeah. And to be fair, they were playing from behind because they get to the
Yeah.
puzzle the last.
Yeah.
So I did like
Yeah.
how the first place got to pick their puzzle, second place got
Me
to
too.
pick the between the two, and the last place had to just get whatever is left over. So Coco gets immunity first, and then Vessi gets immunity second, sends Baka the tribal. Um, Now this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. So we get to the camp, and Gabler's like, "Look, guys, this is on me.
Mhm.
So I have my idol. I'm not gonna hide behind my idol. So I'm not gonna play my idol. I'm gonna play my do or die. So you guys do whatever you guys need to do, but I'm playing my do or die. I'm not gonna use my idol. You have my word." And everybody's just like, "What?" And like they're all sitting there in a circle. They're like looking at him like, "What's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, what?"
They still didn't vote him out. He still got 0 votes, and he
But
literally said you could.
but
He still literally said you can vote for me if you want to. I'm not going to use my idol.
pause. But it's because of Ellie. Because Allie went up to him and was like, "Look, I need you to vote with me. I need you to vote with us. I need you to stay solid. I need you to be on my side." And he's like, "You
Right.
know what? For you, I will." And he stayed in
Thank
there and
God.
voted the way she targeted Moriah, which is kind of surprising to me. I felt
Yeah,
like,
she said at the very beginning of the episode she wanted to work with the women.
yeah, like it changed so quick. She's
It
like, I
did.
because she talked about her sister passing away, and there was a big bonding
That was
moment
so
between them and the
sad.
women. So sad. And so it just it was just so weird, like how she changed it up and for no reason. And when Sammy wanted to vote with them, like so, like
Yeah.
they could have easily voted out Owen. So I don't know. I mean, if she feels good about her connections with Gabler and whatever they want, then good for them.
Mhm.
See, I mean, obviously we said it could have been Janine if they were truly like trying to vote the weakest one out.
Mm,
Yeah.
But I think Owen was ultimately uh, saved by Ellie's decision because he's just going to be an asset to them in the challenges.
right,
And it's just hard to ignore that this early in the game.
right.
Right.
Especially it's the small tribes. Small
Yes,
tribes mean a lot more. That's why I feel like small tribes benefits the bigger guys most of the time.
it does.
Um,
Like we saw, like Jonathan would never have gotten voted out
no.
last season pre-merge, like
No.
ever.
But to be fair, he won most of the immunity challenges.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, he
Single
was
handedly for some of them.
yeah. Uh so we get to tribal. Tribal was weird. All right, for one, I gotta say this. Jeff looking old. Jeff is
He
looking
is,
old.
bro.
He was
I was
looking
Yeah.
real
thinking that
old at tribal,
too.
wasn't he? At
He was
tribal, I was
looking
like, "Jeez, oh
old.
Pete, it's like, did you just age 10 years from the challenge, bro? Like, you look so much older all of a sudden."
Dude, it was the lighting. Did you realize how bright
It was
tribal
super
council
bright,
was? Super
super bright.
bright. You can see everyone's skin was like reflecting like the stage lights that they put up, and you can see it off Owen's glasses. Yeah. CBS, get your tribals
Wait,
right. It was way too
so
fucking bright.
how old is Probst? He's over 60, I'm pretty sure.
I couldn't tell you.
Well,
All right,
he's
no,
only
he's
been doing
okay.
wait. He's been
I
doing
just
the
looked
show
it
for
up.
20 years.
Take a guess.
He's
He's
58.
53.
What'd you say, Frank?
58.
Amanda, you said 53?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Frank, you're way closer.
Oh.
You're
Oh,
still
let's see.
under, though.
Let's see. I don't know.
I figured
He's
he'd be like
60.
30.
60?
He's 60.
Yeah, he turns
Damn.
61
Probst.
on November 4th, so he's closer to 61 than to 60.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
He
you
is
could
looking old.
definitely see it, and he looked old.
See, I thought,
Well, he's
I was
probably not getting
thinking, like I
Botox
said, I just looked it
anymore.
up, and I had known, but I forgot. But I knew he was anywhere from like 57 to like 61.
That's
Somewhere like that.
crazy.
Boy, was he getting
He
mad
looks so good for his age. Though.
Yeah, he does, but he
Yeah.
definitely looked like he's aged like a
He
ton
has,
throughout
though, yeah.
seasons. Like
Yeah.
like from 42 to 43, he looks like he aged 10 years.
Him old. Leave him alone.
I mean, good for him. He still looks good for being as old as
He
he is.
does.
But so we get to the questions and they're in trouble. Jeff was kind of getting annoyed by them. He's like, why'd you? Because Gabler's like, I feel like we deserve to win that one. He's like, for what? Why?
I love when Jeff does that, though.
He's like,
Sassy
why'd you
Jeff.
guys deserve to win it?
Sassy Jeff. I love it.
we need the sassy Jeff. Like, I know he still shows like flashes of it, but the old Jeff, it was so fucking funny. Like some of the shit he would say.
Yeah.
It
So
was so good. I just don't feel like he's as excited about this season as he was last season. Like you could feel it as he was like filming for 42. Like he really enjoyed it. I just don't get that light from him this time.
So, all right, this might not be a hot take. It might be a hot take, but I feel like 41 and 42, like my brother, he's a big Survivor fan. He's not like obviously quite as big as me, like org player, but he's seen every season. He understands the game. He told me, Kevin said that he felt like the last two seasons they were kind of trying to make Jeff Probst like the star of like the show, like hype up how excited he was. Like they give him all these one-on-one like moments where he's just talking about like the next stupid twist that's going to happen. And maybe they're not going to do that this season. And maybe that's why it seems like he's not as excited, that they're going to have him back like how he used to be, where he just is like the sassy host to like the castaways. And that's what I like about him.
Yeah, he was definitely sassy. Like Sammy was like, this was supposed to be the final six. He's like, why'd you guys like think that? It's been like 2 days.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, you guys at the beginning of this tribal were all kumbaya, and now you guys are all going after each other."
Each
Like he
other,
was just
right?
pointing everything out.
Yeah,
That's what he does,
which
though.
it was fun. It was a fun tribal, even though it
It
didn't mean to
was.
anything. Mariah ended up being voted out 5-1. So
So I
Yeah.
actually going to the tribal, I thought Owen was gonna go still. Like I wasn't
Me too.
blindsided by it because I thought it was obviously either gonna be one of the two, but something in my gut, maybe just because he was on my team and I just how sometimes have bad luck with that shit.
oh
I thought he was gonna be first boot after me picking him first, and I was like,
If Owen was
this
first
can't
boot,
be
I think it would have
happening.
messed a lot of people's drafts up. I
Oh
think it
yeah.
would have.
I would have laughed so hard.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
mean, well,
crazy.
so a lot of people were high on Zach the last season, but he wasn't like Owen was maybe like the one of the two most popular like picks.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
I think
definitely
he
was.
went first in the RHAP draft too.
he did. I'm pretty
He
sure.
So,
did.
so
No,
yeah,
he definitely did. I what it was. Chappelle
yeah,
picked him, I think,
yeah,
and I think he actually knows him personally because I
yeah, or
think he
something.
used to go to like I think Owen used to go to like a lot of the RHAP events.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
if Edmo. I don't think Edmo met
He
him, but
does.
he
He does
knows
know
him.
him. hmm
He
okay.
knows him through like some sort of group or
Playing.
something.
I
Yeah,
watched
Yeah, he's in a group chat with him. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
I
He
watched
showed me that.
Purdium's video about he ranked the players. He had Owen number 1 too.
Wait,
Oh
So
did
my
he? Purdium did
gosh.
he did that already?
yeah, he ranked the players.
Like before the episode?
Yeah, before the episode.
Okay, I'll have to check that out
Yeah,
tonight.
so check it out. So he had no Owen number 1. So could you imagine? Like that would have
Oh
been the
man.
craziest thing if he was the first boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if he's in all these like freaking RHAP, which is like the nerdiest Survivor podcast, and Purdium, which like nerdiest Survivor YouTube channel, org players, nerdiest Survivor fans. Like he's like the consensus pick, and he's like the first boot. That would
Yeah,
have
that would
just
have been
been
funny.
And here I am watching Dick at Night that I pay for.
Dick at Night.
Yeah, by Evil Dick.
Are you? No,
He
I
does
know what
this.
it is, but does he have like a Patreon or like?
No, so you actually have to subscribe to his podcast in order to watch it. You can't watch it unless you subscribe to it. So I pay like $12 a season or something like
It's
that
not. It's
to
not
get it.
Patreon though.
No, he
Interesting.
goes
Yeah,
through
because
his own stuff.
I had the RHAP Patreon, but I kind of canceled it because I only listened to like the regular ones. But there's a Jets podcast that
Oh,
is
that's
only
cool.
on Patreon. It's like the best one, so I give them like $5 a month just to listen to it.
Oh
So,
yeah. Aren't we awful? The things we
yeah.
love.
Yeah, I only pay for one, so I only pay for one Patreon.
What is that?
All right.
A challenge podcast.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, that's about covers it. I think we about covered everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say like okay, so overall 1 through 10, what are you ranking this season premiere?
In premiere, I'd say a solid 7 or 8.
7.
I'd say
7 or
7
8.
too. I'd say about
Yeah, I
7.
mean, like
All right.
it didn't like
Maybe
oh
6.5.
my god, but
Right. That's how
it gave me.
42, 41 was for me. I just didn't get that this time.
But I feel like 41 was that way because we haven't had Survivor in a long time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Go back and watch it now. It might not have the same.
I don't think I'm going to. Listen, I think that 41 is only good if you watch it live. If you go and try to watch it on a binge, I don't think it's going to be a good season on a binge. So I'm probably not going to watch Survivor 41 for a long time.
We've had a few. All right, to come to mind, great premieres. Pearl Islands,
Still
Kage
number
Rod,
1.
unbelievable. But for the most
Mhm.
part, I feel like the greatest premiere episodes are the returnee seasons. Like Winners at War, like I had fucking
Winners at
chills.
War just
Like,
gave you chills.
yeah, I was like, I can't believe these people are on my screen. Like,
Yes.
Heroes versus Villains was a great premiere.
and oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
So
Even though it was a bad season, Redemption Island was a pretty epic premiere.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. The first few episodes of Redemption Island were actually really good.
Yeah, so
So
like we've had seen like this was a good premiere. It was not a bad premiere, but it didn't do anything to like give me chills or give me like super excitement for next week's episode. I think it gave me a little bit of taste of everybody, and I'm interested to get another bite with them next week. So
right.
we'll see next week and see who pops off the screen more. and see if they hit the people who that they didn't hit this episode, like a Cassidy. Maybe she'll get
Right.
something, but we'll see.
See, like I said, like I know, like you said, we all agreed like 7 out of 10 premiere episode.
Yeah,
But I will say, like, it is that high because we saw a lot of potential in some of these players, like
right.
to just be
Right.
great players or great characters. So
Oh,
that's where I was satisfied. Like I left the episode saying like I saw what I wanted to see, basically.
Right.
yeah. But yeah, it's like it wasn't a bad premiere. It didn't like make you tired or make you bored. I was not bored watching it at all.
No.
So yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see some of these players play. I really hope we do get a swap or something. Something we got. I want to see something different from the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
We did get a little
Has
bit of
to
the
has
same,
to be
but
that
I
way.
want to see a little bit of difference. I don't want to keep doing the same copy and paste and change the name on something just to make it sound different.
They don't even give them a name anymore. They just call it a number now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, we do get to see some good gameplay. We see some potential, some players.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope we don't. I really hope we get to see some good blind sides. I'm a big sucker for blind sides, so that's one thing 41 and 42 did have a lot of is blind
Yeah.
sides.
Yep. We will
Yeah.
see.
We will see. But all right, well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll have the audio version up here probably tonight as well. But please give us a like, subscribe at any of our podcast locations, join our Facebook group, or follow us on Twitter. It means a lot to us. But until next
Or
week,
YouTube.
or YouTube, yep.
Yeah.
We'll be on live we'll try to be live every Wednesday after the episode. So
Yeah.
until next week, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.